Many Rotarians leave the first year or two right after joining. Now, the first step to retaining a member occurs the day the member joins the Rotary Club, or maybe even before. A highly qualified orientation about Rotary is absolutely vital. Each new member deserves a dignified introduction to Rotary. New members must be given information about the interesting history and tradition and customs of Rotary. Sponsors or senior mentors can introduce new Rotary experiences to new Rotarians. All new Rotarians must be brought into the wide circle of friends we call the family of Rotary. The second important step is immediately to give each new member a worthwhile and meaningful task within the club. The new members must be involved in the social and the service activities of the club from the very outset. And only when a member begins to feel that he or she has a useful job will they feel that they are fully a part of the club and that they have actually become a Rotarian. A third suggestion in retaining members is to recognize the impact that modern technology is having upon young business and professional people today. The demands of the 21st century executive or manager are far different from those of 30 or 40 years ago. With iPods and laptops and text messaging and iPhones and the ever-increasing technical forms of communication, the current young executive is expected to be making instant decisions and be on call 24 hours a day, even when their office may be located on the other side of the world. Many managers and supervisors do not have that option that we had to make a decision or respond to the office when we get back from our Rotary lunch. I see far too many young Rotarians and even prospective members being pushed out of the door when their club still insists that our standard is 100% attendance. Our bylaws only expect 50% attendance. The truth is, if we want to attract new generations to join Rotary, many of us in the older generations must be willing to change some of our thinking. We must provide a little more freedom in our regulations and give a lot more considerations to the demands and expectations which business and professional executives face today. Another serious retention factor is the degree to which new members are actually welcomed into the old established circles of the club. How many clubs have that wonderful group of long-time Rotary friends who always sit at the same table every week? They'd never think of inviting a new member or prospect to come and join our table. Have you ever been to a club where they say, "Ooh, you can't sit there. That's Charlie's chair. He's been sitting there for the last 20 years. Nobody sits in that chair." And you know, these wonderful friends would never think that they're actually depriving other members of their friendship and are not actually part of the total fellowship of the Rotary Club. And soon new members and visiting guests realize that they have not become a part of these small circles of friends. And someone who intended to be a good Rotarian becomes a casualty to Rotary. Now, one of the most critical reasons that we do not retain some members is the fact that the quality of our club meetings, our service activities, our social events are just not worth the time of busy people. Club meetings must be interesting, enjoyable, fun, and worthwhile if we expect to retain the interest of business executives. A club that settles for dull, uninteresting, poorly organized meetings will be a club with real retention problems. Rotarians should look forward to attending an interesting meeting, or they'll soon find themselves passing by the Rotary meeting to accept other business, family, and community responsibilities. Another significant retention step is to assist a member to join a Rotary club even when they're leaving your club or changing business or moving out of town. When a good Rotarian moves away, we have a responsibility to advise the club in the other city that a good Rotarian is moving into their community. We may be losing a member in our club, but we can retain him or her in Rotary by suggesting their name to another club. And finally, we must be alert to the symptoms which lead to resignation. Frequently missed attendance, failure to participate in the social activities, lack of interest in the service projects or the club fundraisers, apparent family or business problems that take them all the time away from the club. These may all be signals that a member is soon to resign. And here is where the club leaders can have a kind, personal discussion and may save the prospective dropout. Occasionally, just a thoughtful conversation would provide an answer to a potential retention problem. And that, my friends, is the real spirit of the family of Rotary.